1998 Coimbatore bomb blast case passed away due to age-related illnesses at the PSG hospital in Coimbatore on Monday evening. Basha, who was the architect of the 14th of February 1998 serial bomb blast case that killed 58 people and left over 231 people injured in Coimbatore. Now thousands gathered to bid an extraordinary farewell to S.A Basha, the mastermind behind the Coimbatore serial blast, and despite his past, the funeral drew an enormous crowd, sparking a heated political debate. Let's get in a word from Vashni, who is joining us right now. Vashni, amid a lot of security that was also put in place, why is that a man like him is receiving so much kind of a concern when it comes to the people? A convict that we are talking about, and his funeral procession had drawn a large number of crowd.
Well, absolutely, yes. Basha, who passed away on Monday evening, was, cremated yesterday according to the Muslim religious rites. And we saw a massive crowd gathering in Coimbatore for his final funeral procession. And that is why it has spurred a political row at this point of time, as the BJP of Tamil Nadu has been slamming the DMK government for permitting a mass gathering to take place in the city during such a funeral procession. They say, the BJP state president Annamalai says that a convicted terrorist, a convicted convict has been treated like a martyr, and which is unacceptable. And the BJP also says that even when they are requesting the police for permission to protest in the state peacefully for something, they are being denied. But these kind of a gathering, how is the state government giving permission, is what the BJP is questioning right now. In fact, the Tamil Nadu BJP's Coimbatore unit has announced Friday as a black day, and they will be protesting against this kind of a funeral procession that has taken place. And the DMK or the state government is yet to react on this matter as to why permission was given. But we, on the other hand, we also saw a huge deployment of police officers from the Coimbatore city, as well as rapid action force officials and NIA officials also at the funeral site to ensure that there is no untoward incident that is going to take place, given the history that Basha holds at this point of time. Therefore, a lot of political fire is now burning is at this point with regards to the funeral position. We'll have to wait and see how the state government is going to react to this at this point of time.
Right. Pradeep, who is also joining us live right now. Pradeep, why a man like Basha being glorified in such a way where thousands of people turn up for his funeral procession? What does it imply? What message does it give out?
That's really a matter of concern. A person who's a terrorist, who has been a convict mastermind of Coimbatore blast, as you rightly said, 58 people lost their lives and more than 231 were injured. And after his death, he's been glorified. Not only that large number of people turned up for the funeral procession, but also there were heavy deployment of the police personnel also, and RF personnel also were present. Because when you start glorifying, you encourage and embolden many other terror-related elements also. Not only that, this is enough to indoctrinate and brainwash young minds, because if you give such a kind of a treatment to a terrorist, we have seen the similar thing happening in Kashmir Valley also, when there used to be funeral procession. After every funeral procession, many more youngsters used to join terror rank, and they used to wage war against India. So that was the reason that the government in Jammu and Kashmir stopped those funeral processions, because they realized that how these funeral processions are working on the impressionable minds and making them join terror ranks. The same thing has happened in this particular case, because he was a terrorist, and what he's being almost given a level, treated like a martyr here in this regard. That's one of the reasons that the political row has started over this issue, and the BJP has started hitting out at DMK government. And whatever they are doing, that's absolutely right, because we have seen in the past also, whenever such funeral processions are allowed and the terrorists are glorified or eulogized, all it happens is that it indoctrinates and brainwashes many other young minds, and they also get lured to the terror-related activities. And that is why the people are really concerned about, and that's really unfortunate. And I think the DMK government should not have allowed that first place, because when you give such a kind of a treatment to them, you are sending a very wrong message, because normally a message should go that the terrorists are terrorists and they can't be glorified. But here in this case, he was a person who was not an architect, mastermind of the serial blast in Coimbatore. Those blasts took place just hours before then Home Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister L.K. Advani was about to address a rally. And it was at that point that the blast took place, in which many people lost their lives, 231 were injured. What about those family members who lost their near and dear one? Today, when they must must have seen this funeral procession taking place, large number of people participating, even the police bandobast being there. This is like sprinkling salt on their wounds. They must have felt very bad, and it must have been very painful for them, because a man responsible for targeting their near and dear ones.
Well, exactly. That is why with a man like S.A Basha being glorified as far as his funeral procession is also concerned, that is part of a major political controversy, with the BJP strongly condemning the event, accusing the ruling DMK of glorifying a convict and engaging in minority appeasement. BJP, which has raised serious concerns questioning why the Tamil Nadu government remains silent on the matter, and also alleging that it is the India bloc which is prioritizing vote bank politics over the welfare of the state and of the people, calling the actions of the DMK as highly inappropriate.
Madam, it only shows to what level DMK government is involved in minority appeasement. That not only do we condemn it, but also we feel very bad the state of law and order in Tamil Nadu, what is happening in Coimbatore. A person on parole who is convicted by a court of law, who has taken the lives of innocent people. He died during parole, and the police dithering, saying that no procession will happen, no procession will not happen. Finally, procession is happening. And this is not only shameful, it only shows to what level in Tamil Nadu the DMK government has gone for the minority appeasement. Just in Coimbatore, we have to appreciate and understand, a cylinder was used by a suicide bomber to bring it, to create a huge blast. That is why the Coimbatore BJP unit, on coming Friday, they will observe a black day in Coimbatore, because the law and order has died today in Coimbatore.
This is very atrocious. See, the thinking of making him as a martyr is very bad, actually. He's not only a terrorist, he's a convict. He's under the custody of the jail authorities. So, absolutely, I don't understand how this government is keeping quiet. In fact, I saw a report in a newspaper that there are around 2,000 police officials. They are going to, monitor the situation, the procession. There is no doubt that a person has got his full rights. The last right has to be done. Having a procession for a terrorist who was responsible of killing 58 Tamilians, and more than 200 people were very badly injured.
Congress and India Alliance and their allies always put vote bank niti above Rashtra niti. Political vote bank security over national security. When a convicted terrorist S.A Basha, who was responsible as a mastermind of the Coimbatore blast that led to the killing of 58 innocent Indians, 200 plus people were injured. When such a person, who is the mastermind, has died, he should be not hailed, but he should be condemned. But rather than that, the Tamil Nadu government made special provision for his janaza to be taken out.
Well, amid the row over Coimbatore blast mastermind's funeral procession, DMK has issued clarification saying the party is alleged that the procession has been carried out by the family members of Basha and not their involvement at all as far as the government is concerned.
See, it is his family that is taking the procession. Maybe some of the Muslim parties are with us. We are not, the DMK or the government is not a part of that show. That is for them to see. And as far as their friends are concerned, they may think that Basha has done something in the interest of the minorities here. So that the party, neither the DMK nor the government is in support of that.
Varshini, if the government says that, there wasn't any involvement as far as the funeral procession of Basha is concerned, then why exactly security personnel were lined up when it comes to the funeral procession? Who exactly asked them to be there as far as the heightened security measures that were taken up?
Well, if you see, Basha is a convict and he was serving life imprisonment, and what is to be noted is that due to his illness, he was out on parole in the month of April earlier this year, and since he was out on parole, he was also, already been given security. although he was taking treatment, he was always under the surveillance of the police officials, the prison guards, as well as the NIA, since he was a convict in a terror attack case. And right now, since he was, dead yesterday and his funeral procession happened yesterday, it was very important for the NIA officials to be directly present on the ground at this point, because since we saw huge massive crowd that was also gathering at the place, just to prevent an untoward incident from happening, the police also, Coimbatore City Police also had put up a big number of police security at this point, and RAF, the Rapid Action Force, was also brought in there, as well as NIA officials, to ensure that there is no untoward incident happening, because we all know what happened in 1998 during the Coimbatore blast, and how big of a tragedy that was, and how Basha has been clearly remembered as the mastermind behind this blast. And also the recent Coimbatore cylinder blast that took place in 2022, which also brought in a lot of connection between the 1998 blast and to the current incident that happened. So therefore, a question of radicalization or alleged polarization has always been going on when it comes to the city of Coimbatore, and that is why we can see that the police were being very proactive at this point.
Uma Anandan from the BJP is with us. What do you have to say as far as this 1998 Coimbatore blast mastermind S.A Basha, who's dead now, and in a way, as far as this funeral procession is concerned, that has drawn a huge crowd?
See, if the crowd comes, you mean to say we become the martyr? Same upscale guru, all of them, or the attack, they were just because do we give martyr? Why are we not able to accept? How was Osama bin Laden, how did he meet the end, and how did the United States carry on his last this thing? Did anything come out? That is the way all these people who have killed. See, Basha has killed so many people. The serial blast in Coimbatore, it uprooted the lives of thousands of people. Serial blast, Mr. Advani escaped by a whisker. Are all these of no significance for this present government?
Then why is he being glorified? Because the DMK government says that there is no involvement on part of the government. It is the family which had taken out this funeral procession.
Okay, why did you do police protection? 2,000 police people. Did the family employ the police? The police is under the state government, no? And you see the tweets and the remarks and the comments by leaders of political parties. I wouldn't like to call them leaders at all, like Tiruma Balaban or Seeman and all. I think it is totally unjustified to call them as leaders when they take cudgels on behalf of a man who has killed so many people.
Well, that's the point that is now being raised over the crowd that it has drawn as far as this funeral procession of a man who has been convicted and has said to be a mastermind, killing many people. Thank you very much, Ms. Anandan, for joining us here on the broadcast here as far as the BJP, which is raising questions on the DMK, asking the DMK government not to allow large funeral procession, but in a way, the government coming out to clarify, saying that there is no involvement on part of the government in the funeral procession of S.A Basha. We'll get you more reactions on that heading into a short break. You're watching Times Now.